Every single year, millions of people embark on one of the most significant spiritual journeys in the entire world. It's a pilgrimage that just erases worldly differences, connecting believers to a shared past and a really profound sense of purpose. So today, we're going to dive into what the Hajj is all about.
If you really want to get a sense of the sheer scale and the spiritual peak of the Hajj, you just have to look at this gathering at Mount Arafah. You'll often hear the saying, Hajj is Arafah, because this one day is considered the absolute high point of the whole pilgrimage. It is just this breathtaking sea of humanity, all united in one single profound purpose.
Okay, so what is this monumental event really? To get a handle on its true significance, we've got to start with the basics and understand what the Hajj is at its very core.
Right, so first things first, the Hajj isn't just some trip or a vacation. It's the fifth and final pillar of Islam. It's a mandatory journey to the faith's most sacred place, the Kaaba in Makkah, where you perform a very specific set of religious duties at a very specific time of the year.
And this is a really key point. For those who are able, it's an obligation that you only have to do once in your entire lifetime. So you can imagine that one single journey carries an incredible amount of weight in the life of a Muslim.
But look, the Hajj is way more than just a physical journey or ticking a box on a religious to-do list. At its heart, it's a deep, deep journey of spiritual purification. And this is where we get to the heart of it, the incredible promise of this pilgrimage.
So that kind of begs the question, right? Millions of people undertake this journey, and it can be tough. So what's the ultimate spiritual reward they're all hoping for?
Well, the answer is pretty powerful, and it comes straight from the Prophet Muhammad. He promises a complete spiritual reset. A sincere Hajj is rewarded with the wiping away of all past sins. You return to a state of complete purity, just like a newborn baby. It's just this incredible idea of mercy and a totally fresh start.
So yeah, to put it simply, the Hajj is this special form of worship, ibadah, and its main goal, the complete purification of the soul from sin.
And this idea of purification, it doesn't just stop at the individual. It builds into something bigger. Beyond the personal journey, the Hajj is, well, maybe the most incredible display of unity and radical equality you will ever see. This concept of one community, or ummah.
So how does that happen? How do they achieve that? Well, you can actually see it. You've got people coming in from every corner of the planet, every culture, every language, all gathered in one place. They all wear the exact same simple white clothes, they all perform the exact same rituals, and they all chant the same prayers, all at the same time.
And what happens is, all those things that divide us in the world, wealth, status, nationality, they just disappear. You'll literally see a CEO standing shoulder to shoulder with a farmer, a king right next to a laborer. During the Hajj, there's no such thing as class or aristocracy. There is only humility and a shared devotion to God.
And this incredible sense of equality, it creates this atmosphere of just absolute peace. When you're in that state of pilgrimage, it's forbidden to argue or fight. You can't even harm a living thing, not even an insect. It's a state of total peace, with God, with yourself, with everyone around you, and even with nature.
Okay, so performing the Hajj is also like stepping right into the middle of sacred history. It's not just some random set of rituals, it's a direct line to a legacy of prophets.
Pilgrims are literally walking in the footsteps of spiritual giants. They're reenacting rites that go all the way back to Abraham and his son Ishmael, and they're connecting to the life of the Prophet Muhammad. And on a grander scale, you can't help but see this massive gathering as a powerful, almost a dress rehearsal for the Day of Judgment, when all of humanity will stand before God.
All right, so let's circle back to something we touched on earlier, the idea that this is a sacred duty. Who exactly has to go, and just how seriously is this obligation taken?
The rules are actually really clear about this. The Hajj is a duty owed to God, but, and this is important, it's not for everyone. It's an obligation specifically for those who are financially and physically able to make the journey. And, once again, it's a once-in-a-lifetime deal.
And look, to really get how heavy this obligation is for someone who can go, you have to hear this statement from Ali bin Abi Talib, one of the most important figures in early Islam. To him, if you had the money and the health to go but you didn't, it was such a huge spiritual failure that it basically called your entire commitment to the faith into question. That's how crucial this pillar is.
So, we'll leave you with this to think about. The Hajj is a pilgrimage that gives you personal forgiveness, shows you what radical human equality looks like, and plugs you right into a shared ancient history. How can one journey, One set of rituals managed to wrap up so much for millions of people all at once.